Hello to my great outdoor friends. My name is Mrs. Simarusti, and maybe you saw my video number 1 where I shared with you all of the things I put in my camping backpack. I have my tent set up, I have my sleeping bag back here in the tent, and I'm ready for a little camping. Now, when I camp outside, I use a tent, but some people do camping with a little vehicle or a big vehicle called a camper. So here's Mr. McGee and his dog Dee, and Mr. McGee has a camper. So he can go camping and be outside, but when it's time to sleep, he has a spot to go inside. So let's see what happens with a camping spree with Mr. McGee. Now, this is a long book, so I'm going to read some of the book, and then I'm going to stop for a song. Maybe we'll play a little game, and then I'll read you the rest of the story. Early one morning at 7:03, Mr. McGee and his little dog Dee packed up the camper, they hitched up the load, they hopped in the Rambler and then hit the road. They drove to the mountains, away from the sea, for 2 nights of camping and possibly 3. So I see Mr. McGee's house, and he's leaving his house to go somewhere in his camper. There's nothing like camping, said Mr. McGee. I know you will love it. Just wait and see. The views are fantastic. There's hardly a sound. Aside from the wildlife, there's no one around. And the air is so sweet you'll sleep like a log, said Mr. McGee to his small spotted dog. Ooh, they can pull the camper right behind the car. That's pretty handy. A few hours later, they took a sharp right, and they found a great spot to lay camp for the night. It was high on a hill. It had a beautiful view of Mount Adams, Mount Lincoln, and Jefferson, too. But perhaps the most wonderful feature of all was the brook that ran over a steep waterfall. Dee gathered pine cones and branches and logs. McGee made a campfire and cooked some hot dogs. And as the sun set behind the far distant knolls, they sat roasting marshmallows over the coals. Ooh, good idea. Maybe marshmallows for s'mores. As the fire went out, they felt tired and dozy, so they climbed in their bunk beds all comfy and cozy. But while they were falling asleep without care, along came a stumbling, bumbling bear. A kindly old bear whose sight was not so clear. He couldn't see far, and he couldn't see near, but he could smell marshmallows, sticky and sweet. The smell made him hungry, and he wanted a treat. Oh, I'm going to let you look. Can you see the bear? He's in between the car and the camper, and he smells the marshmallows, and the marshmallows are right here by that log. Ooh, they did not remember to put the marshmallows away, and the bear smells it. He sniffed out the place where the marshmallows lay, but the car and the camper were in the bear's way. Yet that did not stop the sneaky old snitch. He simply tried squeezing under the hitch. And as he was shimmying into the gap, he pushed up the hitch, which let go with a snap. Okay, so I see the hitch. This is where the camper is hooked up to the car, but the bear pushed up the hitch, and now the camper is not connected to the car anymore. Uh-oh. Now that the camper and car were untied, they started to roll right down the rocky hillside. The car bounced away on the old logging road while the camper was heading to where the stream flowed. It flew down the hill in a wild, bumpy ride with Dee and McGee sleeping soundly inside. They were snoring and snoozing and enjoying a dream when splash went the camper right into the stream. Oh no, look at that raccoon. He says, oh no. All right, this is where I'm going to stop my story. What do you think is going to happen? Let's look back to see where the camper was parked. Remember, they went up, and do you see the water? So I see the water, but then I see this waterfall. Do you think that's the water that they're going in? I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, I'm going to put my book down, and we're going to try a song about lying in your sleeping bag at night. And we're going to sing about the songs that you might hear at night. So I have this animal. What kind of sound would this animal make at night? Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Ooh, this bat, I make him go like this. Flap, 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 flap. All right. Ooh, not an animal, but something pretend, a ghost. Ooh. And then finally, oh. And part of my song, I have to make the sound of the wind. So I'm going to go like this. Ooh. All right. The person who sings this song, her name is Miss Carol. And I love Miss Carol's songs because they're songs that get us moving or get us singing along.
I was lying in my sleeping bag. I couldn't get to sleep when the wind began to howl and the bugs began to creep. So I rolled to the left and I rolled to the right, and I heard every sound that you hear at night. Owls. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's add some bats. I was lying in my sleeping bag. I couldn't get to sleep when the wind began to howl and the bugs began to creep. So I rolled to the left and I rolled to the right, and I heard every sound that you hear at night. Bats.
Oh, bats.
Flap, flap, flap,
flap.
Owls. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's add some coyotes.
Oh, now the coyotes.
I was lying in my sleeping bag. I couldn't get to sleep when the wind began to howl and the bugs began to creep. So I rolled to the left and I rolled to the right, and I heard every sound that you hear at night. Coyotes. Bats. Flap, 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 flap. Owls. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's add some ghosts. I was lying in my sleeping bag. I couldn't get to sleep when the wind began to howl and the bugs began to creep. So I rolled to the left and I rolled to the right, and I heard every sound that you hear at night. Ghosts. Ooh. Coyotes. Bats. Flap, 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 flap. Owls. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's add something that you've thought of. Ready?
Let me think of something.
I was lying in my sleeping bag. I couldn't get to sleep when the wind began to howl and the bugs began to creep. So I rolled to the left and I rolled to the right, and I heard every sound that you hear at night. Your sound.
Meow, meow.
And ghosts. Ooh. Coyotes. Bats. Flap, 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 flap. Owls. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Nice job making all of those sounds. All right, before we finish our story about camping with Mr. McGee, I have a little game to play with you. So in this game, you have to find a little boy who is in his sleeping bag in his tent. So I have these tents back here, and the numbers on my tents are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm going to have you guess where the boy is sleeping. He's inside only one of those tents. I'm hiding. Come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent. Let's look and see. All right. I think I'm going to pick number 5. Okay, let's see. Did you pick number 5? Ooh, he's not there. Look. Can you see it? No, boy. I am hiding. Come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent. Let's look and see. Okay, how about number 2? Do you think it could be number 2? Let's see if he's back there. Ooh, he's not behind number 2. All right. I'm hiding. Come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent. Let's look and see. All right, how about, let's see, I have 1, 3, and 4 left. I'm going to try number 3. Oh, wait. I think I see him. Let's see. There he is, sleeping in his sleeping bag. Okay, I'm going to change the numbers, and I'm going to hide the boy again, but I don't want you to see. So I'm going to let you look at the back while I'm getting the front ready to go. Okay, I think I'm going to try number 6 and number 10 and 9 and 8 and 7. All right, I tried number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's the rest. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, here we go. I'm hiding, come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent, let's look and see. All right, I think, what's the biggest number I have here? I think that's what I'm going to pick. Number 10. All right, here, I'll hold it up so you can see. Okay, number 10, are you there? Oh, he's not there. All right, I'm hiding. Come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent. Let's look and see. Let's see what I have left. 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, the smallest number I have up there is number 6. I'm going to try number 6. No, boy. I'm hiding. Come find me. Where can I be? Pick a tent. Let's look and see. All right, smallest number before was 6. What's the smallest number now? Number 7. All right, I'm going to look. Ooh, we found him again. There he is, the boy in his sleeping bag. Ooh, good job. Good job guessing, and you did a good job of recognizing all those numbers. All right, finally, we can finish the story of Camping Spree with Mr. McGee. All right, here we go. Remember, he was close to that waterfall because that bear unhitched his camper. The splash shook the camper. They bumped out of bed. Now what in the world was that? McGee said. And when he looked out and saw where they were, his hair stood on end, and so did Dee's fur. They were caught in the rapids, but that wasn't all. They were headed smack dab for a big waterfall. Dee and McGee both started to quiver. Faster and faster they head downriver. But just when they thought they would fall over the edge, their camper got stuck on a rock at the ledge. So there they were, stranded, McGee and his pup, out on the top of a waterfall 50 feet up. Oh my goodness, look at how far down that is. Did you notice the rock on the previous page? So they were lucky that they got stuck on that rock. Meanwhile, the nearsighted bear from before was searching for one little marshmallow more, when lo and behold, as if out of a dream, he spied something sweet floating over the stream. What does he think that is? Does he think it's a marshmallow? But what the bear thought was a marshmallow treat was really the hitch and not something to eat. So the bear was determined to capture his prize. He thinks that's a marshmallow. So he jumped in the water. It went right up to his thighs. He splashed through the stream to the edge of the fall. He snatched up the trailer hitch, camper and all. Oh boy. Dee felt a tug. McGee heard a knock as the bear pulled the camper right off the rock. He dragged them both all the way up to the bank. When he realized the hitch was not sweet, but quite rank, he spit out the hitch and left with dismay, while McGee and Dee's camper again rolled away. It flew down the path with a jolt and a jar and stopped in some bushes right next to the car. Dee popped her head out. McGee looked out too. Had they really stopped rolling? Could that be true? At last things were quiet and peaceful and still. They hooked up the hitch and drove off down the hill. And on the way home, McGee said to Dee, "That trip wasn't quite like I thought it would be." So when they got home, with the sky turning red, they decided to camp in their backyard instead. So it was the bear that bumped their hitch up that caused them to roll down the hill, and then it was the bear that saved the day. Well, I'm so glad you could be with me for another time of camping, and I'll see you next so we can talk about trees and leaves. Bye, friends.